Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Your Time to Shine, a radio show designed to explore your own divine gifts. Good evening, and welcome to tonight's show. I'm so happy to have you here listening to us live on A1R Radio, Facebook page, and iHeartRadio, and many other areas that you can listen to us live each week. So I was having lunch with a friend today, and we were talking about being the light for ourselves, being the light for others. And it was a really interesting conversation, and I thought it was a perfect topic to share for this evening. So I'm sure you've all been in this situation. You might have even been in the situation yourself where you're going through a rough time, you're going through a dark time. You might even be going through a dark night of the soul, or you might know somebody who is going through that, right? Somebody close to you, a good friend, a family member. And when we have loved ones going through some rough times, right? They are in the dark. Their heart is heavy, they're grieving, they are going through a rough time. And we step up as light workers, as friends and family to be that light, right? And we shine brighter to be that light, to help them, to try to pull them out of the dark, to try to pull them out of their sadness or their grieving. And that is fantastic. That's, so much of the time, that's why we are here on this earth, is to provide that light. We also have to remember not to sit in the dark with them, which can sometimes be really hard for us because of our empathetic nature, right? We want to sit there, hold their hand, tell them it's okay, be the light. And sometimes if we can't get out of the dark with them, we can't we can't be that light. We can't be that light for them. We can't be the light for ourselves. And so as a result, we end up taking on some of that darkness, the grief, the sadness, the uncertainty. And so it's really important to know that if you're helping someone through a tough time and you're helping them through that dark time in their lives, you have to be able to get out of that yourself. You can't sit there with them. It doesn't help anybody. It sure does not help you, the light worker, the one trying to help. And it goes back to that old adage, right? Um, when you're traveling by airline, put your mask on first before you help anybody else, right? So it's about being able to keep ourselves in the light, to keep our energy free and clear, and know that it's okay to step away for a little bit and say, you know what? I know that you're in a hard spot and I'm here for you, but I can't continue to sit in the dark with you. I will come back and check on you, another time. It may be an hour from now, it may be tomorrow, whatever that is. But you have to allow yourself to step away and be okay to not sit in the dark because you cannot be that light and continue to be that light if you're sitting in the dark. It's way too heavy and it's way too hard to shine brightly when you yourself are sitting in that space. So I encourage you that if you are in that space, to be able to get up and move and find the light for yourself so that then you can come back and be that for somebody else, right? I remember a time I was going through a really rough time some years ago, and I would tell my friends, look, I have to just go sit in the dark for a while. And they were okay. And they were gracious with that. But they said, if you don't come back and talk to us in a day, we're coming after you. And they did. A couple of times they did. So, right, they honored that for me. They said, okay, you can go and have your time. You can have your grieving and your sadness, but we're not going to let you sit there forever. And they came in and helped me through that. They shined their light bright. And that was exactly what I needed at the time. And I was able to come back. Now, it doesn't mean that I might not have had setbacks, right? I did, just like every human being might. But the fact of the matter is that I had the support of the bright lights around me to help pull me out and to remind me that I was also a bright light. And sometimes those people, that's all they need is to be reminded that they too are a bright light, that they can shine brightly once again as well, as soon as they're done going through whatever it is that they need to process and go through, so that they can too, once again, shine their light bright. All right. Well, I hope that was very helpful for you. And hopefully, I just felt like somebody needed to hear that out there. So I hope that message was received for you tonight. Right now, we're going to go to the phone lines. We've got Nikki in St. Louis, Missouri. Good evening, Nikki, and welcome to Your Time to Shine.
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
Okay.
Good. What can I do for you this evening?
My 16-year-old son was murdered on August 11th of 2024, and I'm just trying to see if my son transitioned over.
Okay. Oh my goodness. I am so, so sorry, Nikki. Um, and my heart goes out to you. Let me just sit for a few minutes here and tune in. And while I do that, there's going to be a little moment of silence, and then I'll be right back with you. Okay?
Okay.
Can you? I'm sorry. Can you tell me what your son's name was?
Marco.
Marco. Okay. One moment. I'll be right back with you. Okay. Nikki. So yes, I can tell you that he did transition. And he wants you to know that he's very much okay on the other side, and he's concerned about you. I mean, I can feel, I can feel his angst, and knowing that you're okay and that you're going to be taken care of. He wants you to know that he loves you very much, and he's watching over you from the other side, and that he just keeps saying, "I'm fine, Mama. I'm fine. I'm fine." Um, so he's just wanting you to know that everything is okay. Um, but he wants you to be okay. And I know this time of grieving, this is I mean, this hasn't been very long for you. So there's going to be some time in here for grieving for you, obviously. Um, but he has big concerns for you to make sure that you're doing okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank thank you so
He
much.
You're very welcome.
Yes. Bye-bye.
He was he oh
You said what?
yeah, he was a very brilliant soul. Um
Mm-hmm.
he was very smart. Um and he gave a lot to life.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, Nikki, I'm so sorry for your loss.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
You're so welcome.
Bye. You said Marco would.
I think we lost Nikki. As we're waiting for either to get Nikki back or to get another caller, um, you know, again, it's about, right. It's about being that light for someone who's going through the darkness. And I hope that Nikki has lots and lots of support for her as she goes through this really tough time, because That's a really tough place to be in, to be a mom, and to lose your son. Nikki, are you back with us?
Yes, I'm back with you.
Okay. Um, your your son is still here. Your son is still here with us. So um, he's he's wanting to apologize for doing some things that maybe weren't the best choices for his life, and he wants you he just wants to apologize. He's asking for your forgiveness on
I
this.
forgive you. I forgive you.
um he had so much love for you.
And I know that. No, I know that.
Yeah,
He's my baby.
it was really beautiful, the love that he had for you. So as you're going through this process, I'm hoping that you will feel his love coming from the other side, and that can somehow bring a smile to you, knowing that he's still with you in some level and on some capacity. Um, yeah, he just said, "Oh shoot, I had so many more things that I wanted to do while I was here." So um, he's feeling a little sad about that, but more about the family, um,
He loves
because
me. He loves him.
I feel like he really kind of took care of you, right? He was the one that would that would run up. He's showing me that would run up and throw his arms around you, right?
Yes,
He
yes,
wasn't,
yes.
yeah, he
He
wasn't
kisses
afraid
for
of the
no
affection.
reason.
Yes, exactly, exactly. He wasn't afraid of showing and expressing that affection. He was such a lovely soul in that way. Um, is there another question or anything that you would like to ask
No,
or
I
know
just want to
about?
make sure that he was transitioning over good. And they got the person that done this to him. So I just want to make sure this person don't get out, don't walk the street again. But no,
Yeah,
thank you
yeah,
so much.
yeah. He's doing good. So, and the fact that part of it, right? That there was a little bit of justice in that, he was able to transition over and be good with that.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, you're very welcome. Is there anything else that I can help you with this evening? Okay, I think Nikki has left. Next, we are going to the phone lines, and we've got Carolyn in Brisbane, Queensland, Australia. Good evening, Carolyn, and welcome to your time to shine.
Thank you. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Thank you. Beautiful day here.
Oh, perfect. What can I do for you?
Sorry. I just wanted a general reading, any messages or any direction.
Okay. Is there a specific direction that you want to take this conversation?
Mm, no, not really. Um,
Okay.
any messages or direction, that's fine.
Okay. All right. Let me just tune in here real quickly, Carolyn, and I will be right back with you. And there'll be a little moment of silence as I do that. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. One moment. Oh, Carolyn. So are you planning a trip? I
No, not really.
Oh, you're not, because your loved ones must be planning a trip on the other side because they're hooting and hollering, and I actually see I'm seeing a beach scene, and I'm seeing like a cruise ship in the background. So
Mm,
they're showing me that there's a possibility that you're going to be traveling or at least thinking about going on a little holiday or vacation. Um, they're saying, "Oh boy, is it time." It is time for you to be able to um, relax and have a little bit of fun. And
That's nice, yeah.
yeah, and basically give yourself that break. They're saying that you've been
Mm,
working really hard and
yeah,
it's you're ready for that break. Yeah.
but with on that for sure. Not a break
Yeah.
a leg go, a holiday break.
Yeah. Exactly.
Enough,
Exactly.
had enough other break.
Yes. Um, I'm what they're also showing me is like they're like planning and strategizing, like financial strategizing. Um, so looking at your like it's like planning and looking at your future. Um,
Mm,
and looking to see um it almost feels like you're looking at purchasing something like maybe a new car. But you're sitting there. I can see you sitting there and you're, I'm sorry.
I do need a new car, yes.
Yeah. So it's like they're sitting there and they're showing me that you're strategizing and you're planning. If you haven't started that, um, then they're saying you need to sit down and do that. This it's the
Mm,
right time to start looking at kind of all those financial things, even to the point of looking into your future down the road in the next 10 years and what that looks like for
yeah.
you. It feels like
Mm-hmm.
there's a lot of manifesting and going on with you. I mean, because everything I'm being shown is like coming up for you in the future, things that are possibilities, right? It's not a lot of what you have done because I said, oh, did she just go on holiday? And I got, no, this is coming up. So, and then again, the financial planning of it, right? And just the financial planning in general. So they're really wanting you to take a look and kind of take stock um, in your life, in your planning, in your future. So do take some time to sit with that.
Okay.
Let me see what else. Let me see what else they're saying here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're also showing me like a field, like a field of a crop that is ready to be harvested. And so when I see something like that, it is showing me that you have planted the seeds for things that you've manifested, for the things that you have wanted to do, and it is almost time to harvest those things. So again, they're showing me that crop, they're showing me the planning and the manifestation. So it's like whatever you've been planning, whatever you've been manifesting and wanting to have show up in your life, you're right on the cusp of that venture. Okay.
Mm,
Let me see here. I'm also hearing starting a new business.
mm.
Um, are
Wasn't
you?
planning on it.
I'm sorry. What was
No,
that?
not planning on. I'm not
Oh,
I'm not planning on studying the
uh,
business.
oh, interesting. Okay. Again, it might be something that if you were thinking about doing that, even like a side job, right? I'm not seeing this as something that you're going to do full time yet. But they're showing me like starting something new, starting a new business. Um, And what I'm being shown is I keep hearing starting a new business of helping others. Um,
Mm.
that you're a light worker yourself. And so
Yeah.
looking at what you are doing and expanding on that, expanding that out to help other people, to teach other people
Mm.
about the things that you
Okay.
know.
Yeah. Mm. That's
Um,
interesting.
they're also showing me crystals. Um, have you been guided to use crystals in your everyday life, or are you
Mm.
just really
I,
drawn to
I play
crystals?
around. I play around with them sometimes, but not all the time. I'm really not super into them, but yeah,
Okay.
sometimes
All right.
I'll have a look at them.
Yeah, they're showing me that there's like a draw for crystals for you. And so
Okay.
if you feel that calling, they're showing me that, you could start researching and getting to know and understand the crystals a little bit more. And finding, it's like they're showing
Okay.
me finding a few of them that really, really resonate with you, and then start using them in different ways, in different capacities, right? For instance, like the quartz crystal, really amplifies things when you put it when you put it with another crystal, right? It amplifies the
Mm.
power of that other crystal. And so they're showing me like working with 4 or 5 of them, um,
Okay.
to kind of get used to that.
Mm. Okay. That'll be interesting. I'll have a look around.
Okay. Um, Based on what I have said, do you have questions around any of that?
Oh, I don't know. Just nothing's going to get any easier, I guess.
I'm sorry, can you say that again?
Will it get any easier?
Let me check in just a moment here. Yeah, they're showing me like they're showing me an image of like a rocky boat, um, and that
Yeah, that's
you've been kind of on that path, that streak for a little bit. Um,
a
they
long
said
time.
you're Yeah, they said you're almost through it. It's still going to be a little. There's still going to be a little bit more to work through, um, but that you're getting through it. You're almost there. Um,
Mm.
they're showing me that, you've really done a good job navigating all of it, and they're also showing me you're very tired. You're you're just very
Very tired.
you're very exhausted with the whole thing.
Mm.
And
Most
so,
definitely.
yeah, they're saying that it's going to be a little bit longer, um,
Mm.
but they're showing me like by the beginning to mid of almost like the mid of 2025, like March,
Mm.
um,
Mm.
things are really going to feel like they're moving more slowly. Or, I mean, they're moving more easily. They're flowing, is what I meant to say. Sorry.
Yeah.
Um, they're flowing a little bit easier for you. And
Yeah.
so, if you can just make it through this next little bit, um, you should see some things start coming through.
Mm.
And I think
That would be
what
nice.
they're yeah, and what they're showing me too is that, everything that I've told you about the future and the future planning and possible holiday, it's like you're looking at it like, yeah, well, I don't know about all that, right? So, um, yeah, I know, right? Um, but they're saying once you get through this, right, you get off of that rocky boat and that motion, that those things will be easier to see. it's almost like they will be more palatable and you can say, "Oh, I understand that now. I get it. Yes, I see that, this is going to come through and that's going to come through and oh man, maybe I
Mm.
can look at doing a holiday, right?" Um so as you get through that piece of it, then some of these things that we've talked about will actually start coming into play. It's like they're kind of just sitting there hovering until
Mm.
until you kind of get through this little stretch. Um,
Yeah. Okay.
yeah.
Health
Um,
wise, what is there anything there?
um, your body's just it's just been under a lot of stress. Um,
Mm.
and so if you can find some supplements to kind of boost, um, just give your immune system, and I'm hearing your adrenals, just give them a little bit of a boost. Um,
Yeah.
that will help.
Okay.
Yeah. It'll kind of help. Um, it will ignite a little bit more in you where you feel like um, you can move through this next few months and get through it. Okay.
Mm. Mm.
Look at some crystals when you're looking at the 4 to 5 crystals. Look at the ones that are going to help with healing and within your body, because that's really going to help as well. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. And Carolyn, we're coming down to the last few seconds of our show, so I have to say goodnight. I want to say thank you so much for joining me this evening, and I hope this has been helpful for you.
Thank you very much.
You're very welcome. All right, that does it for me, everyone. Have a wonderful week, and I will see you next week on Thursday night.